My name is Ryan Harwick. I am 42 years old. I live in a beautiful house in Greenwich, Connecticut. For 14 years, I believed I had a strong, loving marriage with my wife, Claire. We met in college, built careers together, bought our dream home, and talked about growing old together. But everything changed the day I discovered the truth about her secret trips. Last Tuesday morning, I was sitting at my home office desk reviewing some contracts when my phone rang. It was a Manhattan number I didn't recognize. A young woman on the other end introduced herself as Claire's new assistant at the marketing firm. She sounded nervous. She said she had urgent client documents that needed Claire's immediate signature, but Claire wasn't answering her calls or replying to emails. I told her, "Claire is at a 3-day company offsite seminar upstate. She left on Sunday morning." There was a long, awkward silence. Then the assistant said carefully, "Mr. Harwick, I'm sorry, but we don't have any off-site seminars scheduled this week. Claire submitted a request for personal days off. She said it was a family matter." I kept my voice steady. I thanked her and hung up the phone. But inside, my entire world started to crack. Claire had kissed me goodbye on Sunday morning, 2 packed bags in the car, and said, "This seminar is going to be exhausting but important for my promotion. I'll call you when I can." She even sent me a photo of the hotel lobby on Monday evening with the caption, "Long day, missing you." It was all a lie. I sat there for almost an hour, staring at the wall. Then I walked into our bedroom and picked up her iPad. We had always shared passwords and location access because we trusted each other completely, or at least I did. I opened the browser history. For the last 6 weeks, one name kept appearing again and again. Wildflower Farms, an exclusive luxury resort and spa in Gardner, New York. Expensive suites, private cottages, romantic dinners, wine tastings. Just 2 hours north of our home. My hands were shaking as I checked our shared Find My app. Claire's phone was showing a static location right at Wildflower Farms. I got into my car and drove north without thinking twice. The entire 2-hour drive, my mind was racing with memories. I remembered how distant Claire had become in the last few months. She was always working late, taking more business trips, and spending hours on her phone with the screen facing away from me. When I asked her about it, she would smile and say I was being paranoid because of work stress. 6 months ago, Claire started going to the gym more often and buying expensive new clothes. She lost weight, got new highlights in her hair, and started wearing perfume even on weekdays. I thought she was doing it for herself. Now I realized it was for someone else. 3 weeks ago, she told me she had to attend an emergency client meeting in Boston. She was gone for 2 nights. When she came back, she seemed happier than she had been in months. She brought me a small gift and said she missed me. That was also a lie. When I reached Wildflower Farms, I parked far away and walked toward the main terrace restaurant. And there she was. Claire was sitting at a private table overlooking the gardens, wearing the white sundress I had bought her last summer. Next to her was a tall, distinguished man in his early 50s with graying hair, wearing a designer jacket. He had his arm around her waist. She was, and leaning her head on his shoulder. They looked intimate, comfortable, like a couple on vacation. I took multiple clear photos from a distance. I even recorded a short video of them kissing. Then I quietly drove back home, my heart pounding the entire way. The next morning, I contacted a highly recommended private investigator. Within 48 hours, he delivered a complete report. The man's name was Everett Hale. He was a senior partner at a prestigious Manhattan law firm. He was married, and his wife was the daughter of the firm's founding partner. His entire career and lifestyle depended on staying married to her. The investigator had photos of Claire and Everett checking into the resort together, having candlelight dinners, booking a private couples massage, and leaving the cottage in the morning. There were also text messages recovered from Claire's cloud backup where she told him, "Ryan suspects nothing. This week is perfect." I didn't confront her immediately. I stayed silent and kept collecting evidence. The following week, Everett Hale's law firm was hosting their big annual client appreciation gala in a luxury Midtown Manhattan hotel. I registered as a potential client using my business credentials. I printed all the photos with dates and timestamps, the text messages, hotel receipts, and the investigator's report. I put everything neatly into a plain manila envelope. During the networking cocktail hour, I walked straight up to Everett Hale. He was standing with his wife and her father, smiling and shaking hands with important clients. I politely introduced myself and handed him the envelope. "These belong to you," I said. "I thought you should see them before anyone else in the room does." He opened the envelope. His face turned white. His wife noticed and asked what was wrong. I simply turned around and walked away without another word. That same evening, Claire came home much earlier than expected. Her eyes were red and swollen. She was shaking with anger and fear. She screamed at me, "How could you ruin my life like this? How could you humiliate Everett in front of everyone?" I looked at her calmly and said, "You ruined our marriage the day you started lying to me and sneaking off to luxury resorts with another woman's husband. I just stopped pretending everything was fine." She cried, begged, and tried to blame me for being distant and too focused on work. But the evidence was undeniable. Claire moved out 3 days later. Everett Hale's marriage is now falling apart. His father-in-law has called an emergency meeting at the firm. His career is hanging by a thread. Our friends and family are shocked. Many of them had no idea anything was wrong. Some are supporting me. Others are still trying to understand how a 14-year marriage could end so suddenly. I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I didn't beg her to stay. I simply gathered the truth quietly and let it speak for itself. Sometimes the strongest revenge is not loud or dramatic. It is calm, calculated, and unstoppable.